Hey everyone, it's Sarada and I scribble, and today is day 31, the very last day of Inktober. And I thought I would do this in a very traditional check my progress way where I re-ink the day one of Inktober. This is my first time doing Inktober, so it's been very special to see at least my speed go up. I've definitely gotten faster at inking. But yeah, so this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to re-ink my first Inktober drawing, which was of my characters Mars and Venus. And what I've done is basically I scanned this, printed it out again, and traced it onto some watercolor paper. Because what I've done during Inktober is that I've done cross-hatching and I've done ink wash, and ink wash fares the best on watercolor paper. It does work in here. Here's some ink wash. But the more I do, the more warped the paper becomes, so I don't want to risk ruining this sketchbook. This drawing is slightly bigger than this one as well. I think I upped the size by about 10%, so that is another thing I've done. Either way, I am gonna get right into inking this, and let's see what happens. So from the start, I had already planned to do both cross-hatching and ink wash for this because those have been my two favorite mediums during Inktober. I wish I had used my dip pen a little bit more, and I wish I had used the brown Sakura Pigma brush a bit more because those have definitely been neglected, especially the Pigma brush. I regret not using that more, but I think now that I'm not forced to use it for Inktober, I might actually pick it up a bit more because that was a thing too. I didn't really do any art where it worked into the design of the drawing. Anyway, enough about that. This drawing in particular took 2 hours, roughly, in total, and the original one took 1 hour. It took me 1 hour to do ink and then adding the tiny details that I did. So I actually checked while editing how long it actually took me to do this first portion, and it took 40 minutes. So I've sort of upped my speed by a third, I guess. Roughly 30% faster than normal. I think that's how you calculate it. Either way, that makes me really excited. And it makes me even more excited because this one looks better. It looks so much better, and that makes me very happy. I did still spend a lot of time on it. I mean, 40 minutes for the line art itself, and then an additional 1 hour and around 20 minutes to do the ink wash and the cross-hatching. Of course, the hatching is always like, that's the most time-consuming thing you can do besides stippling, because stippling is a whole other thing. That is something I wish I had done for more than one drawing. I only did it for my Mushishi Maho piece, but it took such a long time. It turned out really nice, but it was so time-consuming. I think if you can work it into smaller details, it could be a really nice addition without eating up your entire day. So after finishing up the shoelaces and some final details on their faces, I got into the cross-hatching, and I'm a little bit bitter about Venus's shirt because it started out really nice and like even on his sleeve, but then once I got onto the actual body part of the shirt, the pattern became very static. It became horizontal and vertical. So I tried to alter it, and then I kept messing up the pattern once I'd managed to sort of shift it a couple of degrees, and it doesn't really look right in some places. You can hide that pretty easily though by doing the shading, and if you don't look too close you don't really see it, but I just felt like I should know how to do that. Like it really irritated me that I messed up the pattern in so many places, but I think it was mainly because of the fact that I had to rotate it. I just didn't want it to look so static. You can see it on his right shoulder, or left, his right, that it's just very, very even and static. But yeah, and then I decided to switch it up a little by doing this cross-hatching basket weave, I think it's called in some, it has so many names, but this type of hatching on his shirt. And then I did regular striped hatching on Mars's skirt, just to mix it up a little and to save time, possibly. But I really like that hatching too, though, because it's simple, but it's very effectful and creates very even tones, which I really like. It's a pattern that's hard to mess up on as well, which is probably why I like it so much. Then once I got started on the ink wash, I decided to ink wash Mars's top and Venus's pants. I was considering mixing a darker ink wash as well and doing Mars's hair and Venus's shoes, but I decided against that because I had already been going for so long and I just wanted to be done. And I didn't want to risk overworking the piece because it looks pretty good like this and I really like it. I just feel like maybe I should have done something more. I did go ahead and add a splash of color to their eyes and also some blush to their faces. I don't know, with drawings where I don't color the skin, I really like adding blush because it just creates a bit of life in the drawing without disturbing too much of it. I really like that. I used my NO color leads for that, the pink and red one, because they make really nice colors and they're easy to blend on watercolor paper too. Here you can see a pan of the drawings and some close-up on their faces and on the patterns on the clothing. But yeah, this was the last video for Inktober and it's Monday, so I will be seeing you guys again on Thursday, I think. I do want to do a summary video and that might come out before then. I don't know. Either way, thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching every video, thank you so much for that. And I hope to see you guys soon again. Bye!